Okay, so I want to show you this hilariousness. So I come from what was a sheep farm. They don't have sheep anymore, but when I was a kid, I had a pet sheep called Fred. And then we had Betty, and then Wilma, and then Barney, because we were not very good at naming things. We also had a Garfield and a Sylvester for cats. It was a fat orange one, so that was good. Okay, make it easy to see. So this is just a ridiculous set of tweets, but it comes from, so this is a Twitter thing, but like this. It comes from the Museum of English Rural Life, right? So there are some great Twitter feeds out there, like, which one is it? One of the dictionaries, Webster. Webster's really got some sass going on. And Josh, what's that?
I thought they did like a whole thing on croquet thing.
Yeah, I mean, they would have eaten that alive. Yeah. No, they're very funny. They're worth watching. So Jacques Bailey, is it just dead? What's wrong with you? You sad little piece of garbage. No, it's just dead. That's really strange. So it's Merle. So they just tweet this picture, right, of this rather impressive ram, which they call an absolute unit. And this is great. So the unit, so this is one of these Twitter things, right? Was an Exmoor Horn H ram owned by G.F. Thorne. You know, this sort of very ridiculous Englishness, right? Right, absurd. And then it goes on. In awe of that Thicc Woolly Boi. Give this Woolly Boy a name. So you see where this is going, right? Mutton Nugget, Shanks Gunderson, Raging Wool, which is, now we're getting somewhere, Wolverine, Rambo, which is pretty obvious. And then the museum comes back with Steve. Should we now become an account that just tweets thick and fat animal photos and paintings? Yes. That's the 74. And then people are on about the vegetables, justice for carrots. Look at this, corpulent carrots, plump parsnips, rotund radishes. You wouldn't believe the because they have all this on record, right? They're showing you their stuff made by seed merchants to tempt weak-willed farmers. It's true, people try. Anyway, so this is quite a symbol of peace. They get very excited about this. Someone said, my big beefy boy, and then they're on about that one. It's a mutton, obviously. And then they're struggling. If we have to read one more sheep-based pun, we're deleting our account. Social media person has an old Samsung S5 and it's melting, thank you. Anyway, it's not even business hours. I've got to eat a curry. And then it gets nasty. Thick chicken is what they want. It goes on about sauce, and then there's this sort of like mint sauce with superscripts. Yeah, really bad. So it's really, I mean, this is just great. An absolute moon it. Anyway, they have this sort of thing too. Okay, there you go. Get to know us. We're a big building full of tractors and fat cow paintings, plus a few bathrooms, toilets. Yeah. Anyway, all right, so there you go. Pretty enjoyable. So just to show you, there's a slither of goodness in Twitter, but yeah, not much. Very satisfying. Right, I did have a pet sheep called Fred. Was my sheep. So I remember feeding Fred when I was really little, and he was very smart. He would, which I know you don't believe, but he would lead the other sheep out of the paddock if you were moving them, and then walk behind with you, and lots of barring and talking about things. Anyway.